Ken Christiansen, this is the one you're hearing most about recently. He's got another show coming up here in like a month from now as of the release date. Here's some of my thoughts on him. It's luck that no one from Northwest Airlines knew him. Why? Because he worked for the airlines, and he actually was I believe he was a purse guy. So he would have actually flown on the planes, as far as my understanding is, and which would mean that he would have known a lot of crews, a lot of flight crews. But the bigger question, whether I'm wrong there or not, is immaterial. The bigger question is, did he make a trip from Bonnie Lake to Vancouver at some point in 1979? If he did, why did he make that trip? You know what I'm getting at. Why would he bring the money back to Vancouver with him and dump it? Why would he do that? And again, there's an assumption built in. Figure that out. Blevins and Lyle Christensen, the guys who are pushing this story the most, they rely heavily on witness speculation, not witness testimony, and a photo of him holding a briefcase or something. There's really nothing wrong with witnesses, except that they are taken for granted. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's massive cognition issues introduced when you do this. If I do future videos, I may actually talk about this, but it is something to bear in mind, is the cognition issues. It also introduces accomplice and a possible second accomplice, which you should see in the parentheses here, additional variables. And when you think additional variables, you should be thinking Occam's razor, and you should be thinking, you know, your BS detector should be going off. The photos really fail to resolve them not fitting the description also. So you have a photo of a guy with a briefcase allegedly taken a month after the crime or something. I don't know. All right, William Gossett. This was a guy in Utah who did actually confess to more than one person that he was the infamous D.B. Cooper. So his confession's not in question. He does not match the description, and he really doesn't resemble the sketches, even though when this suspect first came out, they tried to make like this hybrid sketch between the official sketch and then the Florence Schaffner 1988 sketch, done 17 years after the fact, mind you. But aside from that, and this guy just, in my book, he didn't really fit the description or the sketches. And then the same question applies to him too. Did he make a trip from Ogden to Vancouver in 1979? And if he did, why? Why would he bring the money back to Vancouver and then dump it? So he confessed to two people before dying. Now here's the question to you. Is that damning or is that stupid? I think Richard Floyd McCoy was D.B. Cooper, and they had a whole book about this. Number one, does not match description. He's too young, too short, wrong eye color. You name it, he's got the problem. Further, it requires a third party to explain the money discovery. Same problem as Kofelt. The guy's dead before the monies can ever enter the Columbia River. He's dead before 79. So that would mean that the ransom needs to be lost during the crime, and, you know, McCoy died 5 years before the cash was even discovered. So he lives in Utah, and when he's arrested for the crime that he actually was arrested for, he flew out of Denver, and the Cooper crime would require him to fly to go to Portland, and fly out of Portland, go to Seattle. So the question to you is, did he wise up this second time when he flew out of Denver, or, you know, what happened? What happened there? Why the different airports? Why the different MO, really? So his MO did differ. He actually got stupider the second time around. He left his fingerprints and ransom note behind. Barbara Dayton, these were some people about a year or two ago that had a book they were pitching. They even went on the Michael Medved show. Basically what this was is a transgender, transsexual person who was a male, turned female, and then well after the conversion allegedly was Cooper, allegedly confessed, according to the story, jumped out of the plane, what, like a half hour after they say he did, just like an incredible amount of error that you would have to account for if you took this story at face value. Allegedly confessed again. We don't know for a fact. The people pitching the book are the ones that say she confessed. I don't know a lot about this case only because I didn't read the book. It's not because I'm not curious. I don't feel like I should be giving money to somebody who comes forward with a hypothesis that's not even close to being reasonable. So, a lot of the same issues that plague Ted Mayfield. Why is that cash found in 1980? What would possess Barbara Dayton to throw perfectly good cash in the Columbia River in 1979? And remember, I said there's an assumption in there that it was perfectly good cash. There's a reason why it would be perfectly good cash, but why would it be thrown in the Columbia River in 1979? Why? It makes no sense. So, again, they hypothesize massive errors and read variables such as timeline of the jump being off and such like that.